G'day, Ben Futrell here, and on today's video we're going to have a chat about how to get your customers coming back more often. Now you may or may not have heard that it is actually 6 times easier and then 6 times cheaper to get an existing customer to come back and buy from you again than it is to get a new one. However, I see stacks and stacks of business people putting more effort and emphasis in trying to get new customers than looking after their existing ones or trying to get them to buy again. There are timeless examples of different customers that have worked out that this is what's vitally important. You look at any of you that have a mobile phone, I bet that the company that you've bought your phone off has gone to great lengths to lock you into a contract because they know that by keeping you as a customer is better than trying to get a new one. Now, I'm not saying lock all your customers into contracts. I actually don't think that's the right thing to do. I think your customers should be free to go when they've had enough. If you're not looking after them, if you're not serving them at the level that they should be served at, then you don't deserve them. That's my own personal opinion. But as I've got written here, it's 6 times easier to get an existing customer to come back than it is to get a new one. So I ask you this question. What strategies do you currently have in place to get your existing customers to come back and buy from you? Not only just come back and buy from you, but do it more often and spending more each time that they do. It's one of those areas in business where people are frantically working out how to market to get new customers, but they haven't put a lot of thought into how to do this. So what are the easiest ways to get your customers to come back? Well, I think number one is you need to make sure you keep a database. It is frightening how many of you don't have a database of your current customers. And I'm not talking about just their name, I'm talking about their name, their number, their address, their email address, what did they last buy from you, how long ago was it that they last bought from you, and making sure you've got all the details so you can at least communicate with them on a regular basis. If you're not communicating with your database of current clients within every 90-day period, then you're going to lose them. Somebody else will be communicating with your customers. It's called your competitors. And do you want your competitors being the ones that are talking to your customers? I don't think so. So make sure you've got a good, solid database. And I can hear some of you already going, but Ben, it's very hard for us to get their details. Run a competition. Just ask them for their details. Stop making excuses and just get them. Just work out how to make it happen because it'll change the way your business works. I've worked with cafes where we've got everyone's details to the point where we've had mugs made with names on them hanging out the back, and when you come in, if your name's John, you get your coffee served to you in a mug that has John on it. Why? Because we know who you are. Okay, we know how you like your coffee. We send you offers based on what you like. The big retailers do it. They do it for a reason, and that's because it works. So make sure you're doing exactly the same thing. If Coles can get your details or Woolworths can get your details, then you can get your customers' details. It's that simple. Now, once you've got the database, what sort of things can you do to get them buying more often? Well, things like newsletters, for example, sending out a monthly newsletter, whether it's a printed copy or an email version, doesn't matter. You're communicating on a regular basis with your database. You're keeping them up to date with what it is that you've got available, what offers you have, and what's available for them to buy. Now, on that note, making sure your customers know 100% of everything that you have available to purchase is another way to make sure your customers buy from you more often. It's frightening to think how many people, I'll ask you this question, how many of your customers do you think know 100% of everything that you offer for sale? And I bet it's not 100%. So if not every customer knows everything that you offer, then you've got some work there straight away that you can go and do. Start writing to them, start ringing them, start sending them newsletters. Start collecting your database, communicate with them. Some real simple ways, ask them to come back. I've dealt with businesses that have kept a database. You might have said, yes, Ben, I've got a brilliant database, but it's no good having the database if you don't use it to communicate with your customers on a regular basis. So if you've got the database, then start communicating, work out what timetable of communication you're going to use. How often am I going to transmit a message? How often am I going to write to them? Am I going to ring them? Am I going to drop in? Am I going to send them an email? How am I going to communicate? Maybe you put an event on, you take them on a harbour cruise, you have a closed door sale after hours with wine, cheese and biscuits. Who knows? But you've got to make sure you communicate with them on a regular basis. Another way to get your customers back more often is to have some sort of loyalty program. Now I can see some of you cringing at that, but the reality is pretty much every single one of you will have a loyalty card or a loyalty program of some sort in your wallet or purse. I can guarantee it. Why? Because it works. There's no other reason. It works. People like to be rewarded for being a customer. And your customers will buy from you over your competition because they're going to get points or because they're going to get a freebie or whatever it is that you buy 10, get one free. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you've got some sort of a loyalty program to recognise the loyalty of your customers, they're going to come back more often. Now, I've actually got 67 strategies on how to get your customers back more often. We haven't got time for that today. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you do get more updates, and I will go through different strategies throughout the year, so make sure you do keep in tune. And until next time, take care. Cheers.